Tell me your story.
Yeah, as you know, my name is Abiola. Actually, that's what they call me. And I was born in Nigeria, and I studied chemical engineering. I've done a lot of work. I worked in the cement company back in Nigeria. I've worked in an insurance company, and that's where I started with, actually. To the extent that I had to do a course studying insurance underwriting, so I worked in insurance and as an underwriter, live underwriter. And after a while, you know, I worked in the cement company until almost 2015 when my mother died. And then I started feeling something blurry in my eyes. When all of a sudden, anytime I'm starting to see something, it became blurred. I was thinking it's my eye, so I bought the eye drop, I bought everything. It didn't work. And my mother died, I could have reported to her because she was too close to me. But after the burial, I tried to go to the hospital in Nigeria. That's when I learned there's nothing, seriously nothing in our hospitals, because I've never been to hospitals like that before. Because I don't fall sick easily like that. So all of a sudden, I went to somewhere, to an ophthalmologist. I think they don't know what they didn't have an expert inside the place. So they gave me a recommended glasses. I used it and there was no improvement. The eyes kept getting blood. That was almost 1.5 year after. I went back to the same place. I said, what you recommended did not work for me. It kept getting, because as at that time, when it's around 7, in West Africa, as soon as it's 7, there will be a dawn. It's constant, it doesn't change like it is in UK here. Okay. So it's always constant. So as soon as it's dark, I don't see anything anymore. I have to be indoor. I remember there was an instance, I was coming from work. I came, then because I had to leave where I was working, because I had to deal with a lot of data, but I still need to work. I still needed to work then. So I was working as an engineering drawing teacher in one of the private school, Faith Academy then in Nigeria. So I was coming back from work, so I stayed late in school because those teachers need to take their children before some of us have to go back home. So I waited till sometime. So when I was coming that night, I remember a bike was coming and I was trying to cross the road. As soon as the light of that bike shone on me, I couldn't move. So I just stayed because I knew that I can't see anything. So it was that, but I didn't know what was wrong with me then. So I had to wait. So the bike man was annoyed with me that I wanted to get myself killed then. So somebody, after a while, after almost like 30 minutes, someone said, I told them, I said I couldn't see anything. As soon as that light flashed on me, I didn't mean it's dark. I could have been trying to manipulate one way or the other to cross the road. So the guy went away, and I felt sad that time. So I knew something was wrong with me. So I went back to that same place. They gave me the glasses. Luckily for me, they now have a normal young ophthalmologist inside. So the guy asked me a lot of questions, did a lot of tests. The guy was the first person that came 80% close to what was wrong with me then. So he told me, he now recommended me with a note to a professor. He's a university, she is a university professor, so I have to go and meet her, and then she should take a look at me. So as soon as I went there immediately. So it was the professor that did the test on me, and after a while, the professor, for the first time, after almost 2 years, that I've been thinking it was my eyeball, it was the professor that told me, she has been in this job for almost 30, 40 years then. And she told me there's nothing wrong with your eyeball. But I was amazed. Why could something not wrong with my eyeball? So he showed me, he said, if there is something growing, he showed me a map of a brain that if there is something growing inside this head, it may expand the optic nerve, and then you won't be seeing properly, that I should go to the neurologist. So he gave me a letter to one of the big hospitals then in Lagos, Nigeria. It was when I got to the hospital I saw, because I got to everywhere I'm going to, I get there very fast, before time. So I was supposed to see the doctor around 7, 8:30 in the morning. I was there already by 6. So I observed that due to the development of that country, they have to switch off the main electricity of the university. They now have to on the little generators for critical places. And there were some patients that they pushed out from the hospital. They were sitting down somewhere, place smelly, a lot of things. So I experienced hospital, how it actually was for the first time during my ailments. But luckily for me, just to cut it short, I had to do the surgery twice with a private hospital because it was so big. They called it a tumor. I was even thinking it's a brain tumor, but it's a pituitary. Pituitary gland is at the back of our eyeball. It's in front of the brain, but at the back of the eye. So they have an option to go through the head or through the nose. I was thinking, if you go through the head, that means you have to touch any part of my brain, which I didn't want. So I allowed them to go through the nose. So they were able to
fix it now?
Yeah, they did it, but I was dealing, they call it invisible disability. So you don't see it. So I was dealing with Tumour. I remember they suck a lot of blood from me. They had to take it down to South Africa for tests.
Okay.
I bring back the result to Nigeria then. A lot of times. It was hectic. And I remember, yeah, so I faced a lot of issues. Even there is this medication. I remember they gave me a substitute to hydrocortisone. I was supposed, in Nigeria, all the doctors, they know the theory perfectly. They can compete with anybody in the world with all the theories. But the practical, there is no enough equipment, there is no enough tool, they don't flush enough money there, and that country is very rich. You know, so that's one of those reasons that made me want to stay here. Because to be candid,
when did you come here first?
I got to United Kingdom in 2017. That was in March 2017. So,
did you receive treatment here in the UK?
Yeah, I received a lot of treatments here. I received even the most advanced treatments over here because they were able, over here, there are no fakes. Even most of the time, sometimes I remember a doctor I met, Olaiton. I met him last year and I had an appointment with him last week. That guy is from my own tribe in Nigeria. It's one of the big hospitals over here checking me. And that is what we are lacking over there in Nigeria.
So, after all this time in the UK, why did you decide to go back to Nigeria?
I've always been going to Nigeria. Ever since 2022, I've always been going down there, spending 3 months. That's why I did not have a permanent job. But actually, due to my ailments, if you are very close to me, after working hard for 3 hours, it may not be a hard working, if I'm sitting down with a computer for 3 consecutive hours, I will always want to take a break of 15, 20 minutes. I remember being homeless in 2024. I couldn't get a job that fits me. Because then, since 2020, I've been doing all these remote jobs. I work as customer service, technical support, BT, everything. Most of those jobs, after working for like 6, 7, 8 months, my disability led them not to want me. Because when I'm too tired and I'm forcing myself to work, the work will not come out well. So I remember during that time, I got assistance from the government, but that money is not money the normal person with ambition will want to live on. You want to do your own work your normal way. So I remember telling them that, because in 2024, I got employed just 3 times. And I did one work for 1 week, one for 2 weeks, one for 1 week. And it was due to that disability, because I cannot do 5 hours at a stretch without my system wanting to shut down. Maybe recently, because I don't know, because I've been able to do 4 hours, 3 hours, but at the same time, I still have to do it. That's the disability with me. And at the same time, I know sometimes the vision will be blurred, sometimes it will be sharp, but I know how to manage it if the job allows the flexibility.
Tell me about your projects. You said you have
Yeah. My project is to look back where I come from, that's Nigeria. Anytime I go, I meet them, I meet a lot of boys, even my colleague, they complain. Every one of them wants to travel out. But I think they are also smart, they can think. The only thing they don't have is the resources to start it. So I've been able to acquire, at first I acquired 1 acre of land, where I plan to have like 3 structures on it, but I've been able to build 1 on it. But that structure is not yet in use. And what I want is for youth development. Any inventory, any idea that you have, that place is in Osho State. I'll show it on video when it's time. Any inventory that you have, you can bring it to us. I will look for a way to partner with you. I will look for some people outside that are ready, because I know that everyone in diaspora wants to do something at home, but they need reliable people to work with, which is very, very scarce to get. So that's why I built that. And I've been able to, as of this year, I've been able to come down to the largest city in West Africa. I think that's the second in the whole Africa. It's called Ibadan. So I was lucky, one of my guys took me down to the market. The market is dilapidated. I think the market is owned by government, but it's not maintained. Nothing is done. At night, you only see all of those people by the roadside. Most of them have shop inside. They don't maintain it. So I look at it that, okay, this is another environment again. That, okay, if that inventory started producing a lot of things, we need a market that they could be sourced easily without supplying anybody. So I've been able to acquire like 8 shops that I broke everything down and I started constructing it from the beginning. It's going to a stage of decking right now, but I need to go there, see for myself what has been done, if there is any correction, if there is anything. But the first thing I did is, I'm surprised that inside that same city, a whole lot of people on that side, they are having problem for an affordable water. You see, I remember, I have a friend on one of the streets. I remember they all leave their streets, taking their bucket container to another places to look for water here and there. So the first thing I did before constructing this, I have to drill a borehole. And I know there is no stable electricity in my country. So the only thing I have to do is thank God for solar these days. And I know we have the resources. We have enough sunlight over there. So I have to give them, with the little I make here, I have to make sure that I give them the solar pumping machine so that nobody will be saying we need to fuel our generator. Because we all know the fluctuating markets of fuels these days. So I was able to do that. And I remember everybody telling me that they kept praying for me. And I told them, if every one of those people that you vote for keep doing that for you, you won't lack anything. So that's what I did first. And we are at a stage now that is very, very good. So the pipe is there. It's just at the front of that I call it a sport bar. That's what I'm trying to build there. So a sport bar where everybody could come in, relate, play table tennis, talk, and then when you see people like you that are playing with you, you want to think instead of thinking negatively. Even if the worst come to the worst, come over to that place and let's see what we can do together.
If you have the resources, what would you? What would you create?
The resources. I'm thinking because
for the community.
For the community. I'm thinking the resources because it should be something affordable, something that will make you change it. You know, over there, it's very, very expensive to drink water in Nigeria now. Very, very expensive. And what I've been thinking in my head now is, if I can produce as many water as possible, I'm pumping into the market cheap for everybody, and it will bring income to assist other inventors in their projects, and at the same time, everybody will drink, will go into that's what I want with the, inside the 12 acres. Although I look at it because it's up to like 8 plots. The man that sold it to me is a friend, is a father of my friend. So instead of giving me 6 plots, he gave me 8 plots. So I cut it into 2. It's not cut, but it's still big. But in my own eye, I know this 4, this 4. So the remaining 4, I'm thinking of doing a kind of hybrid where any vegetable can be grown over there. So I'm thinking of having a kind of a greenhouse inside. So that's what I'm thinking of over there. But the other one in the city, that's about sports all through. A game, you play game, you watch football. That's the game that brings people together a lot. And over there, we have a lot of Premier League fans over there. I know. So if you don't belong to one in Nigeria, you are not a football fan. So you see them saying I'm Manchester, I'm this. So it's a way of cutting across to the society, especially to the youth, because they are the next generation.
What would you say to other Nigerians living abroad? They would want to go back to Nigeria and try to build up something, but they don't know where to start from.
I would advise them.
What advice would you give them?
I would advise them. There is no amount you would take and then come in immediately that will be enough for you. The only thing you can do is come in bit by bit. Have it in mind that this is what you want to do. But come in bit by bit. If you're ready to invest like £10,000, come in with just 1,500. You understand? You look at people, how they behave. From there, you sort out people. And if you don't know, you can talk to somebody like me, because seriously, I deliberately did a lot of things so I can survive in the midst of a lot of people. Over here, they will tell us the tap water in UK, they will tell us it's not good. So you see a lot of people drinking from the bottle. I don't drink from the bottle because I always think of when I get home, I want to be able to say, hey, give me that pure water, and then drink it and nothing will happen to me. Because over here, I drink the tap water, and the tap water is even good, better than that pure water. So I would just advise people, anybody that wants to come, like if we don't build Nigeria, if we don't build that country, nobody will do it for us. If we don't build Africa, nobody will do it for us. We are the one that will come over, establish something that will be able to employ at least 5 people. If everybody in the diaspora do that in that continent, Africa will be a better place. But if you want to come bit by bit and associate with people, play with them. If I go, I will sit on the same bench with every one of them. I don't want to go to somewhere special. I want to sit down in front of your house. If it's a little bit of drink, we drink it together, we laugh together. So it gives me a chance to relate with them, play with them. Like that marketplace, I wouldn't have known it If I've been going to big places where assorted people from abroad, where they go. But because I sit with them, they took me to that jungle and I look at it, oh, the motive of that person is I should rent it out and do it and make it a prostitute house. I said, no, this is a dream and this could be a better dream, and I changed it.
And how much did you invest it?
Wow.
So far?
I've never been able to calculate how much I've invested.
Roughly. Give us a figure. Like, is it all your savings from the UK?
It's all my savings from the UK that I invest. My wife is still there, my children, my daughters are still there. But they wanted to come here. But I let them know that I want you to get used to that place first. So when it's time for you to come over, I will let you come over. But that time, I must have established what I wanted to do so that I'll be able to come. But because they are there, that's when I can do it very well. They are still there. They will see me very soon. But I've been able to invest close to £20,000 for boats now. I've been able to, yeah.
And how much more would you say you need to finalize your project, or not even to finalize, but
at least to make one of them start functioning well?
Yes.
I think if I get 10,000, it will be okay to do the decking over there, to furnish it, and as soon as it start working, and the distance needs to be fenced. The whole eight plots of land needs to be fenced for security purpose. And I know, because I've done the rough estimation of it, I know, man, over there you will need close to 8,000 blocks for that fencing, leaving the spaces for gates here and there. So I know, at least when I work hard and then sort for like £10,000 more, I think I should be able to get started. Even I remember the local government telling me, they came over when I started the one in Badon, Oyo State. They came around, they asked me, because I have the approval. I'm too enlightened to just purchase from people like that. So I have the approval. They came over and I told them, I said, I don't mind them partnering with me, but you know them. So they don't, I said, you don't have to drop anything, but I want a level free hand there. But they are not yet. So, but I believe help will come someday from anybody that God touches. So I believe with £10,000, I should be able to make both of them start. At least I've sent some television over to the house. I've done some things that will be inside that place. I kept it somewhere. You know, the little things that I find there, I've been able to send it over so that they will keep it. A lot of people think it's too much. I said no, because of those resource place and the sports place, we need a lot more than that. But at least I've been able to send the fridges, everything.
So what was your biggest challenge up until now?
Wow. My biggest challenge, it's how to source for the money, seriously. Yeah, because I won't say it's my health, because I've been living with it. If I don't tell anybody, every morning I have injection that I take till now. But thank God for the United Kingdom. Thank God for the way they treat me. So I won't call it a challenge anymore. So my biggest challenge is how to make all these dreams come true. For others who do not have the same little bits of push that I had.
Okay. Any final words for the listeners?
Everybody, let's put in our story. We want to read a lot more. so that we'll know that this world is just I'll make it a better place, and that's all.
Okay, what are they donating for? So you say you need about 10,000.
Yeah.
What are you going to use this money for?
Yeah, they high the donation for the social intervention of the community from poverty-stricken environments. So whatever is done there, because I know whatever I've been able to do, I don't see it as my own plight. If I don't have the opportunity to be here, if they don't accept me in this country, if they don't give me the free chance, the free will in this country, because I remember calling United Kingdom heaven. Yeah, I call it heaven because I compared it to every other places. I said, UK is the heaven on earth because their policies and everything is just so perfect. They've been able to do a lot. They've been able to touch a lot of people. Only if those people are not grateful about it. So I call it heaven because they make me be able to sit down. I remember, as soon as I sit down and I'm relaxed, forget it. If you know me 1 year, 2 years ago, I'll be sleeping, I'll be dozing off. Yeah, but this is a place where they cater for me, like I was originally from that place. So that GoFundMe donation or anything, I will like to tag the donation with a name that will be suggested by those people so that that project, yeah, I will write the name of my own organization and I will say in partnership with, so that they will know that because it's not by my might, it's not by my power, and these people are the ones that did it. And by the time they start seeing the results, seeing those people that come out from it, seeing those inventions, seeing the way the people think, because if we want to change the world, you have to change it with a little bit of step. Just do the little you can do, and I hope someone else from somewhere else will do the little they can do that place. With time, that little will grow into a bigger place, and then before you know it, everything starts touching each other, and the world will become a bigger and better place. So that's what I think about it.
So guys, you had the chance to meet Abiola. Abiola is one of the guys who was working in England for a few years now, and all his savings, all his money he's done, he managed to buy a piece of land back in his country in Nigeria, and he's gonna try to invest there. So he needs our support. That's the reason I'm creating this video, and we're gonna open a GoFundMe page for him. Whoever is willing to donate and help and contribute to his dreams, to basically what he's trying to do is to invest in the future of the next generation. So guys, you had the chance to meet Abiola, a entrepreneur who, despite his illness, he's trying hard to build something back into his country, and not only that, but he's trying to give something back to the community. So whatever he builds up there is he's doing it for the next generation. yeah, if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe.